welcome to This Old Town. I'm your host, Lisa Tucker, and as you know, we travel from town to town. Today we find ourselves in Summit County, Utah. We will be seeing a few different towns: Hoytsville, Wanship, Rockport, and then we will find ourselves ended up in Park City. So sit back, relax, and come along with us and enjoy the tour. Here we are in the town of Hoytsville. It was originally called Unionville, but was named after Samuel P. Hoyt, who built a grist mill in 1862. This is the monument for the fort and the grist mill. The fort was built in 1866 to protect the townspeople against the Indians during the Black Hawk War. I can read you what it says here on this monument. It says, "This monument is near the site of the old fort, 300 feet southwest of here. It was an old emigrant trail, also used by the Overland Stage and part of Johnston's army going east in 1861 to participate in the Civil War. The fort was built during the Black Hawk War in 1866 on advice of President Brigham Young to Bishop Winters. 25 families moved their log cabins there. Centrally located, it provided protection for families, livestock, and the grist mill. The mill was the first in this county, built in 1862 by Samuel P. Hoyt." And we're going to go down and take a look at what's left of the grist mill and of Samuel P. Hoyt's mansion. Well, here we are standing in front of the famous Samuel P. Hoyt mansion. This house, it took 7 years to build. It started in 1863 and was finished in 1870. It was 3 stories high, consisted of 13 rooms and 9 fireplaces. It is currently owned by Martha Donaldson, whose parents purchased it from Samuel Hoyt's 2 daughters.
Ready? Go.
This is the old flour grist mill. It was built in 1862, and as you can see, there's not much left of it today. You can see where it's crumbling down. There's the opening of the mill. There's nothing in there now. And here we are at Hoytsville Cemetery, and no visit to this town that was named after this gentleman would be complete without coming to see his grave. So here we are standing in front of the grave of Samuel Pierce Hoyt, born November 21st, 1807, died August 12th, 1899. We are now in the town of Wanship. Wanship was settled in 1857, and it was named after a Ute chief. We are now standing at the site of the old Wanship station. This marker is a commemorative marker. The station used to haul coal from Colville, timber from Camas, and silver from Park City. The Gilmer and Salisbury stage lines, which were one of the biggest in the West at the time, used to have their stages stop here. Then in 1869, the Kimball stage line started to stop here, which took minerals and ore from Echo City to Park City. And the station was used up until the automobile took over for the horse. The station then became a private house and was torn down in 1912. But this marker commemorates the station. Here we are at the Pendleton Rock House. The gentleman who lives in this house right now has a lot of old wagon wheels and old-time memorabilia. He's got an old hearse here, and he collects all this stuff, and he sells it as well. And we can pan around and look at some of the old stuff that he's got here. This house was served as a store, a schoolhouse, and a post office. And now it's just this gentleman's home. During 1866, at the time of the Indian uprising, the townsfolk all went to Wanship. In 1867, the town was resettled, and they built a rock fort in the town. The fort was 8 feet high and 2 feet thick, and in commemoration of this fort, they renamed the town Rockport. So from that time till about the 1940s, there were about 200 people living here, and that didn't change for all that time. They had a schoolhouse and a post office, and then around the 1950s, the town started to dwindle. In 1957, the government purchased the land and built a reservoir, which became Rockport Lake. It flooded the town, flooded all the farms, inundated the town with water, and there is nothing left of the town of Rockport but this reservoir that you see behind me. I take you to see some of the slabs of the houses that were left, but I didn't bring my scuba gear, so that'll be for another time. Here we are at a major interstate, but in 1861, the town of Wanship had a toll road. and it used to charge the wagons going east $1, and it was at exit 152 and I-80, which is where we're at now. And at that point, it was just called the ranch exit, and they charged the wagons $1, and $1 was an awful lot of money in those days. So I guess the people really needed to go east if they were paying that $1 to get off at this toll road. There are a lot of mines up here in Park City, and here we are at one of the active ones that is still working today. Don't know what type of mining it is, but we're going to get some shots of it, and then we're going to go into Park City, where we will talk about the history and see some of the historic buildings. Welcome to Park City. Doesn't look like much of a ghost town now, but way back when, it sure had all the makings of it. In 1868, when the soldiers found the silver, it started to become a boom town. People came by the droves, tents and huts were put up for all the miners to stay in. And then in 1872, the area was named Parley's Park City, but because the name was so cumbersome, it just got shortened to Park City. They started to dig, and as they dug deeper, they hit the water table, and as they hit the water table, one by one, all the mines got flooded. And as the mines got flooded, it started to make this town into a ghost town. Additionally, there was a big fire here in 1898, which ruined 3/4 of the town's buildings, but in a year and a half, all the buildings were rebuilt. So we're going to take a tour of Park City, where you can see some of the historic buildings. We're going to go down Main Street, and we're going to view Park City as it was then, and then we're going to take a look at the Olympic Park and see how Park City is today. We're going to take a tour on historic Main Street, which once upon a time housed 22 saloons. Prior to 1901, miners without families were required to live in chaperone boarding houses, When the law was abolished, this was one of the first boarding houses that allowed miners to live without being chaperoned. Thousands of people, famous, infamous, and unknown, traveled through this depot in its heyday. In 1897, William Jennings Bryan, presidential candidate, campaigned here. In 1885, this was the City Hall and the old Park City Territorial Jail. Down here is the Park City Territorial Jail. It's kind of dark down here, so I don't know if we're going to be able to get anything good, but we'll give it a try. In 1868, soldiers up on the mountain found some silver, and a storm was brewing. It was October, so they left a red bandana, apparently this one, to mark their claim. And in the springtime, when it thawed out, they went back and they started mining their silver. The assay of the silver when they brought it back into town was 96 ounces of silver a ton. So it was quite lucrative, and that's what started the big silver rush here in Park City. Using candle smoke, labor organizers with the Industrial Workers of the World, also known as Wobblies, left their calling card on the jail wall. Although the IWW insignia apparently dates from 1916, the only known record of a Wobbly being jailed in the dungeon is in 1920, when a number of Wobblies had come to Park City to drum up support for a mine strike in Bingham, Utah. Here we are standing in front of the Frank Andrew building. Frank Andrew was a prominent Park City merchant who established a hardware and house furnishings emporium in 1892. After his place of business was destroyed in the Great Fire of 1898, Andrew built this structure in the fall of that year. Reflecting a trend to make buildings less vulnerable to fire, this building was constructed of stone with a brick facade. Andrew's business, which dealt in both new and used furniture, occupied the entire premises. Originally, the entry was located on the south end with a 4-section display window to the north of it. Andrew's name was shown on the upper part of the front facade and is still visible today. This was the address of the Golden Rule Mercantile Store, originally owned by J.C. Penney in 1910. In 1940, it was a Safeway store, and now it's a restaurant. Okay. This is the First National Bank building. Originally constructed in 1898, it was the first building constructed after the Great Fire. The left side of this building housed the Silver King Mining Company. This is the Imperial Hotel. It is rumored there's a ghost here in room 8. The rumor is that a miner found his wife in bed with another man in room 8, and he shot this guy. Well, as you can see, Park City is no longer a ghost town. It has rapidly increased to the beautiful resort city that we're standing in today. It was even home to the 2002 Winter Olympics, and we are standing here at the site of the Olympic Park. Park City is a wonderful place, and I certainly hope that you have enjoyed our little tour today. So join us again next week when the old town that we visit maybe you're a town. For now, I'm Lisa, and I'm out of here.
Load up the truck, it's time to roll. With hearts so wild and a common goal. Chasing the goal, we're ready for the thrill. Through mountains and rivers, we'll climb every hill. With the sun on our backs, we take our stand, uncovering treasures buried in this land. This gold fever's got us running wild. In the heart of the land, we feel like a child. Adventures await in the great unknown. Together we chase dreams never alone. Metal detector singing in the breeze, we dig for the fortune, uncovering keys. With a gold pan in hand, we sift through the dirt. Each little glimmer makes our hearts surge. By the firelight's glow, while laughter
stuff right there.
Fever's got
It's
us
good, man. The gold miner.
I got you.
feel like a child. Adventures away in the great unknown. Together we chase dreams.
Oh, ain't that cool? It's just like the three, I was gonna say something bad.
Wait a
That
minute.
don't work.
Is that better?
There you go, that's good.
Our laughter rings as we dream of the riches tomorrow brings. This gold fever's got us running wild. In the heart of the land we feel like a child. Adventures away in the great unknown. Together we chase dreams never alone. So here's to the nights beneath the stars. With our hearts full of dreams we'll go far. This gold fever's got us running wild. In the heart of the land, we feel like a child. Adventures away in the great unknown. Together we chase dreams never alone. Alone. So here's to the nights beneath the stars. With our hearts full of dreams, we'll go far.